Dear chess friends, we are continue our transmission from Align Classic Chess Open. Now round 4. Before this round, 7 players have 3 points. This is perfect score. And I propose to your attention game between Abhijit Gupta, last year winner of Align Chess Classic, against Viktor Moskalenko. Viktor Moskalenko now representing Spain. He got Spanish passport maybe 1 month ago, and now he's playing against Abhijit Gupta. d4, knight f6, c4, e5, e5, Budapest Gambit, very rare guest in top level tournaments. You don't know Mr. Viktor Moskalenko. He wrote 7 years ago, he wrote the book Fabulous Budapest Gambit, published in New in Chess edition 2007, and he is expert of Budapest Gambit. So game now it's very interesting because playing always what shown expert. D take e5, knight g4, bishop f4. By the way, I am also playing this line. For me is also interesting here. Queen e7. I am playing e3, knight take e5. This I analyzed, knight take e5, bishop e2. So many continuations here. d6, and now black should be careful. If bishop take e5, should not take, should play it in between move bishop d2 to avoid queen a4 check. So Abhijit Gupta, he played castle, and Viktor Moskalenko played here a5. a5 move because it deserves attention. Otherwise, white's idea, for example, after short castle, one black idea is trying to catch bishop by knight b3, and next move a3 and play with 2 bishops. So Moskalenko played here a5. What's idea? If now knight b3, it means knight b3 looks, this is most natural move here. Whites want to play a3, knight going on d4. It will be met by a4, a3, and now very interesting tactical trick, bishop c3. Bishop c3, it of course played, it's not novelty. This move was mentioned, this idea was mentioned by Viktor Moskalenko in his book Fabulous Budapest Gambit. If b takes c3, queen take b3, knight d7, and black has sufficient compensation. Knight is very well placed on c5. 2 bishops, white bishops not played, and whites have massive of weak pawns a3, c4, c3. So black, I think, even better after knight d7. There is another move, bishop e5 here to remove this strong knight, but problem, there is also in between move here b2, because queen a5, queen b3 maybe let white their pawns weak, but white's pawn weak, but they still have one extra pawn. So Abhijit Gupta decided to play knight b1. Knight b1, what's idea? Remove bishop from b4 and bring knight on c3. So what to play? Bishop knight b1. In the game was bishop e6, a3, bishop c5, knight c3. Critical position here. Of course, black cannot play bishop c4 due to bishop take on c4 and knight c4 and queen check. Knight takes c4 here played, and now there is two moves in the game. Abhijit Gupta, he played b4, but I think also very interesting knight d5, knight b2. Strange move, but computer likes him. Queen d2, queen d7, and I have feeling here white should play e4. Let bishop d5, knight a4, rook b1, knight b6, bishop, and looks black has some problem with development. For example, knight d5 can be met by queen take a5, and if case of rook a5, rook b8 mate. Of course, this is some variation will not happen, but I think next white's attempt to find advantage here should be connected with knight d5. Abhijit Gupta played also interesting b4, bishop b6, knight d5, bishop take, queen take, knight a5, bishop b5 looks like blunder, but after c6, white can took on e5, and white is next move they will take on c6. So Moskalenko played knight d7 back. Gupta took on b7, castle. Position looks slightly better for white. They have two bishops. Maybe was also, I think maybe h3 was some prevention from, we will see, maybe need to prevent attack against black bishop g5, f5, h5, knight f6, knight e4. So there is luft now, not only for king, mostly they after h3 white creates luft for their black bishop. It was interesting, but Abhijit Gupta, he preferred to took on a5, takes on a5 and play a4. So white created passed pawn on a4 and cutting rook on a5. As same moment, black has now can obtain counterplay after knight jump on c5, knight jump on e4. Queen c6 was played in the game. Queen d5 also normal choice, but after queen e6 maybe black is holding position. So knight c5, queen c6, main line, and played in g5 played in the right moment. Bishop g3, knight e4, and now black has ideas h5, f5. So white bishop suddenly on g3 became target of black initiative. So after long thinking, Abhijit Gupta, he played very deep move, even difficult to understand what's idea. But for example, if normal bishop d3, black can continue f5 with sufficient counterplay. Now rook entry to the game from a5. So h3 is difficult to understand. So what's idea? After knight g3, take on g3. Yes, little black's king position is much worse than white's. So after, for example, queen e3, king h, queen take e3, for example, king h2, what's this minuses of black position? King is weak, rook is on a5 out in offside, And king on h2 is well placed. King on h2 is much safer than opponent's king on g8. So Viktor Moskalenko here, he played queen e5. Queen e5 is not the best move, even now it was critical moment by the way, and Moskalenko missed best defense for himself by bishop h3, king h2, and now maneuver bishop d4, rook e1, bishop e5. It's making like cement of black position, not allow white's rook to entry in black's camp. So rook f5, rook e4, so black cannot use two files e and f after bishop d4. And in this case position will be maybe equal. Black can also put king on g7, play f6, h5, and black not easy to, not depend, should not make weak white squares. But it was much better than Viktor Moskalenko choice queen e5, king h2. Now not easy to put bishop on it, to interrupt connection between white's rook, h5, e4, very interesting move, h4, king g7 played Moskalenko, rook d1 beside h4, and king h1, very simple idea. Queen, what happened? Queen g3 in the game, queen g3, rook d3, queen e5, rook d5. All rooks now entry very fast to the game. Queen e7, queen c3 check, king g6, e5, open all files and diagonal for bishop, bishop d3 now coming with important, with crash out effect. So rook take e5 played Gupta, of course is most natural move, but he can win by queen c6 for example. Okay, what is problem? Queen e6 maybe cannot play because of check, king g7, queen e6 take, and some check on h7. Queen e6 we are watching. Other move f6, rook d7, queen b4 or any move, bishop d3 coming checkmate, queen e6, bishop, king g7 here, rook d7, queen c5, queen f6 and take on f7, so and mate coming soon. Abhijit Gupta, he took on e5, queen d6 played, queen d8 played Viktor Moskalenko, but maybe more he can resist better by queen d6, queen rook take g5, also hopeless, but yes, hopeless for black also. Queen d8, here bishop d3 played by in the game, but maybe better was queen c6 again, king g7, rook d5, idea to bring queen on f6, so black cannot stop this idea, bishop d3, and queen g6 is dead threat now, black should resign, bishop d3 check, f5, now some tricky move, cannot take rook on a5, bishop take a5, bishop take queen a5, queen d3, and black should be happy here and help themselves. So e5, rook e5 check, queen d8, bishop d3 check, f5. Some not easy moment for Gupta, but he find best move here, bishop b5. Now black played rook f6. No, queen d4 they played, queen c6, queen d4 maybe. Again black can resist better by rook f6, queen c2, queen f8. And now not rook take f5. Take, there is some chance for black here in if they're giving queen on a5. Yes, they can still fight, but white can play more easy. Rook e8, trying to making dead threads or last rank. Rook e8, queen f7, queen e2. One idea of rook h8, bishop can come on e8 here, c6, bishop c4. Now g8 square is critical here, in case of queen d7 coming very soon checkmate, and black needs to play rook d5, for bishop take d5, queen d5, rook h8, and position hopeless if g4, they can take easy on g4, so mate is coming soon, h3 is impossible, even at least by rook take h3, but also g take f5 should win. Queen d4 played Viktor Moskalenko here, and queen c6 Gupta. Now queen d6 impossible because of rook f6, king g7, another heavy piece coming in black camp. Rook take f7, king f7, rook queen e8, king g7, queen e7, and checkmate is coming soon. For example, king h5, bishop e8 mate, king g7 is simple move, queen f5, completely position, cannot resist white. Queen f7 checkmate coming, queen take g5, and Viktor Moskalenko resign. Here it was game in round 4. Other important games ended draw, and after 4 rounds we have 12 players with perfect score. Among them some Ukrainians: Mikhailo Alekseenko, Yuri Krivoruchka, top-seeded Yuri Krivoruchka, Yuri Kuzubov, last year champion, Ukrainian champion, also Alexander Kovchan, Ukrainian, Indians, 3 Indians, Gupta, Sen Gupta, and Gopal. Also I forgot Vladimir Anishchuk, not Alexander Anishchuk, Vladimir Anishchuk, it's Ukrainian player. Also Sergei Zhigalko, Tigran Petrosyan, and American Samuel Shankland, and we will little bit talk about Shankland in our next report. So I am Grandmaster Dmitry Komarov. I hope see you in next time, and thank you for attention for our transmissions from Align Chess Classic tournament. Thank you very much.